we don't often talk about the pain,
Yeah.
physical, emotional, spiritual, that an abortion can cause a mother. In what ways does abortion affect a woman that really are detrimental to her?
Yeah, Jeff, that's an excellent question. People don't like to talk about the pain of abortion. As a matter of fact, there have been women who were deeply depressed after their abortions, and we're talking years. I had one woman come into me. She had had two abortions in her early 20s. She was now 40. She was married, and she and her husband had finally decided they wanted a child. She's 40. So she goes online to look at baby development, and boy, the penny dropped. And this woman had been going to psychiatrists for all of those 20 years, and she was depressed. She struggled with grief. She struggled
Mm.
with sleeping. She couldn't forgive people. She just held on to things. And every time she mentioned to them, to the psychologist, could it be the two abortions? They'd say, no, abortion doesn't cause depression. No, abortion wouldn't do that. And when we finally met,
Wow.
she came to me and we did counseling for those abortions. And you know what she said, Jeff? She said, this is the first time in all of my life that I was actually able to forgive and let go. And she found comfort. She let go of the people who had caused the abortions and pushed her into it, her parents, the doctor, boyfriends.
Hmm.
She forgave herself. And she was able to finally, after 20 years, move on. And I remember women who met us in the gardens of life who didn't even know that they were in pain. And when we shared what the place was, they didn't really know why they were coming. They just were in groups, tourist groups, and they'd come to the gardens of life and they heard that this place was a place of
Mm.
memorial to the unborn children. And I remember one gal from Portugal, and she said, I have never told anyone in my life that I've had an abortion except my husband. And now I'm telling you that I have carried the shame for so many years. And I think that we have, even in the churches, women who are sitting in the back of the congregation thinking, if you just knew me, if you really knew me, you wouldn't accept me. And they act
Mm.
like that. We had, for example, one gal, she came to our congregation and she visited 4 times. And then I'm a pastor's wife. So I was told that this woman is never coming back again. And I said, why? They said, nobody really spoke to her. So I
Mm.
called her in. I said, let's talk. Let's have coffee together. I said, what happened? She said, nobody except you really greeted me. And what I realized about this woman is that she had high walls up around her. You couldn't really talk to her. She was very defensive, very kind of tough on the outside. And when she was in the office meeting with me, because our congregation and my office were in the same building complex, and she said, I don't feel comfortable in this office. I said, why? She said, when I was a believing Christian college student, I had an abortion because I had been raped, and I've never told anyone, ever. And this woman, then we gave her private counseling. Sometimes we do group, but we gave her private counseling. And Jeff, you can't
Hmm.
imagine how she changed. She, instead of being heavy and
Wow.
closed, she was laughing. She was open. She started volunteering in the office. She came back to the congregation and sat in the second row right behind my husband and myself. She was greeting people. This woman opened up because that pain and that self-deprivation and that, really, you could say, the shame of what she had done and the secret were removed.